Hi everybody, my name is Michael James and I am the director of the next production here at MSU in the Andreas Theater called A Couple of White Chicks Sitting Around Talking. We're actually on the set, which is not quite finished. You won't actually see yellow caution tape and things like that when the show opens. But with me are my expansive cast, both of them. It's the Couple of White Chicks themselves. Ladies, I'll let you introduce yourselves.
I'm Libby Slater, and I play Hannah Mae Benzler. She's originally from Texas, and she loves everybody.
I'm Megan Volkman-Wilson. I'm playing Maud Nix. She's kind of your typical New England power housewife. She likes everything to be where it is, and she's very selective about who she spends her time with.
And it takes place in Westchester County, New York, which is honestly one of the 10 richest counties in the U.S., and that's where Maud's been living for a while, but Hannah Mae comes in with new money, and she doesn't quite know what to do with it, I don't think. We're all familiar with chick flicks. Well, this is a chick flick play. And I'm going to let the ladies address why it's a fun show for men and women both.
Well, there are obviously, it's centered around the relationship between these two very, very powerful, very big characters of women, and I think with the way that they meet each other and come into their own through their newfound relationship, a lot of the women in the audience could identify that. But it's a similar theme of finding yourself in a completely opposite personality, and I think anybody can really identify with that.
Yeah, I think you hit it on it. Yeah, it's a fun show. It's heartfelt. Basically covered it. I think.
Well, it is a comedy, but it's got some sad moments too. But we bring you back out of that into laughing a lot. And not to give anything away, but basically Hannah Mae is the hairball in the drain. Let's say.
Thank you.
She comes into Maud's world and turns it upside down. So what is it about Hannah Mae and Maud are like oil and water when they first meet? What is it that goes on that creates that situation?
Well, Hannah Mae is such a big personality, and I don't think she notices that. It's like she doesn't have tact. And she doesn't think that the way she's acting isn't normal. We're definitely oil and water. But yet, I don't know, it's funny, it's kind of like the whole opposites attract. You know, we kind of fill in the cracks for each other.
And we play with the idea of the scenes. It's a show full of scenelets, like they're little scenes, and you see how the relationship progresses from scene to scene. And we play with finding those moments of similarity, finding those moments where we actually do come together, although I'm very resistant to her big Texas personality at first being very uptight, and I'm very busy. I have very many things to do, and she kind of comes in and shakes my schedule up. And
nothing to do.
Right. Nothing to do but come and try to make me friends.
Yes.
But we do play with moments of finding parts of the conversation or the situation that we're in to identify with each other. And I think those moments are really what helps the audience to realize why we're becoming friends.
Well, yeah, and relate. Because I think we've all been there before where, you know, maybe you meet someone and you're kind of like, okay, not so big personality, and then you get to know the person and you realize, well, that's just who they are, and then you sort of...
And not to give anything away, but something major happens in the show that brings these two women together, because they find out that no matter how different they seemed originally, they really are pretty much the same. And it's an adverse situation that brings them together. It's very charming when it happens. One of the things that was interesting is auditions. For those of you who have never been in theater, it can be a pretty grueling situation because there's nothing worse than being rejected. We all have gone through it in theater. Both of these ladies, when they came in for the audition, was like, nailed it. Yes, we had to look at everybody else, but they so knew who both of these women were. It was absolutely perfect. And I'll put myself on the line here because something that Mary Jane Olsen, who is our PSM, said to me, she goes, "I'm so glad a man is directing this show." say whatever you want. I get my feelings hurt, but no. But how has it been actually having a man do this instead of a woman?
It's refreshing because you would see the show is about two women and their issues that they have. It's a total chick flick, but to have a man's point of view, it's like another lens to see this through, and it's really nice to see that your vision of the show really how you understand these characters, and it's nice to know that men also can relate and understand.
And I think it's important to have a different perspective, because I feel like if it really on our production staff, Michael is the only man, and I feel like if it were all women on the team, not that would hinder the process at all, but I think it could slip into that just female-oriented lens, because it's a very female-oriented show. It's two women talking about our marriages and what it's like to be women, and I think it's important to have alternate perspectives so that it's seen on more of a common ground for the audience as well.
Well, it's a fun show. We open March 30th in the Andreas Theater, and you can certainly get tickets online. We only run for 4 days, so be sure you do get your tickets and come to see probably one of the funniest shows you will ever see anywhere. And it also happens to be very short. The sun may still be up by the time we get out of the theater. It actually is. It's a very, very, very funny show, and it won't take up your whole evening. So absolutely come and see it. Megan has done many shows here, but this is the first time in this theater. And Libby, this was only your second time in this theater. Yep. So it's been a fun experience for all of us because there's a lot of new things happening. So any final words you chicks want to say?
I'd say come in with an open mind and an open heart, because we'll take you on a roller coaster, but it's a short ride, so I think you'll enjoy it.
But it's fun.
Yeah, and it's fun.
We'll see you here.